Okay. So I guess it's up to you now, Mr. William Prosser from England and Scotland or the UK with TCE Group, LondonDMC.com.
So, as I say, we are a TCE Group. We're a top three DMC in the UK with an office in London and an office in Scotland. And we could not be more different to the previous two destinations that we so learned about there. And I guess, you probably, most of you know a lot more about UK than many other destinations. Many people will have been there. So I'll give you a kind of an overview about what we're about as a DMC. So the key words for us this year are passion. I think passion is really, really important whatever you do. This is my football team, so obviously I'm passionate about them, about West Ham. We beat Arsenal at the weekend, so that's really good. And if you can share someone's passion, you really are sharing something fantastic, and you really are doing it. And I think with a destination like London, authenticity is extremely important as well in the UK, and obviously we've seen Rwanda, we've seen Kazakhstan. You guys, it is an authentic thing, but nobody wants to feel like a tourist and that they're in the wrong place. So we do real experiences with real people and touching the destination and really feeling you get to know it. Although these people aren't that authentic, they only dress like that on Saturdays, sometimes on Sundays, but never on Mondays. Not allowed. So we're your partners in UK. This is our office actually, which is a pretty spectacular place where we work. As you can see, I've surrounded myself with people that are better looking than me because I think that's the way forward. One of them is my wife. You see if you can guess which one. But we're a team of partners. We have a small team that works really closely with our clients, and we're not a supplier. We're a partner, and I think that's really important. And one of the things that we do, our protocols is we serve things with passion. We're really, really quick to respond to any briefs that we have or that we get. We think that's very, very important. And it's about like the authenticity and passion. So this house here, for example, I've got just some product ideas for you to see. This house here is called Stoner House, and it's been in the same family for 800 years. Have owned this house and the estate around there. It's a magnificent place. The owner, Lord Camoys, is a friend of mine actually, and we used to do a food festival there with him. That's how we got to know him. And he's very passionate, of course, about the house that his family has owned for so long. He sits in the House of Lord. He's a lord and lady. And it's really good for smaller groups, especially. They will invite you to have lunch with them and their family. This is not a corporate thing. This is not something you can buy. This is just something that, because of our relationships, we have these kind of opportunities available to us, and that's something really special. This is another authentic event that happens in London in November every year. There's around 350 cars, all built before 1905. Can you imagine that? They're all at least 120 years old, and they drive down to Brighton, which is about 70 kilometers. But 1/3 of them don't make it. They break down on the way there. These people look after these cars, and they've been in the same family for years and years, and it's an authentic, passionate experience. And anybody who has an interest in cars is a fantastic event to be a part of. I take my son every year, and my father used to take me every year, and my grandfather used to take my father every year, and it goes on. But it's just for their own amusement. We have lots of stuff in Scotland where the scenery is incredibly dramatic. We've got fantastic food in Scotland, fantastic experiences, Highland games, Loch Lomond, Loch Ness. You can go looking for the Loch Ness monster, and in amazing surroundings up there that we work in. There are other events around the UK which offer fantastic opportunities for people. This is a place called Goodwood. It's about 2 hours south of London. They have two events there. One called the Revival, which this one is, where they have lots of old cars racing around their racetrack, and you can go right up and see them and look at them and touch them and feel them. And they have another one called the Festival of Speed, where they have all the racing cars and all the Formula One drivers are there looking at their cars and so forth. And that's another event where thousands of English people are just going there. It's not put on for tourists in any way at all. It's completely authentic, and again, people's passion. We have access to film premieres in London. I can't remember what this one was now. I think it was probably Oppenheimer, and where we can get tickets for people to walk down the red carpet at film premieres with the stars of the film and sit and watch the premiere of that movie. And if you're lucky, you actually get to meet some of the stars of the films. And there are theatre productions and others as well, but the film premieres are probably the best and the most popular. We're an agent for all of the Premier League football teams, and we have groups going to Premier League games and Champions League games all through the winter. Many DMCs don't get involved in these, but we are an agent, accredited agent, so we get tickets for groups coming in from abroad, all sat together, but sometimes last minute, sometimes well ahead. Now, this is Manchester City, Manchester United. We work with Liverpool, we work with West Ham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Everton, all of the big teams. Again, that's a passionate experience that is put on, which is completely authentic. We're also an agent for the Wimbledon Championships, tennis, which again we have some very unique sports events in the UK that are part sport event and part social occasion. You see the people at Wimbledon eating strawberries and cream and drinking Pimm's or champagne, and you don't have to be at all interested in tennis really to have an amazing experience at the Wimbledon Championship. These again authentic experiences transcend the sport that they're a part of. So we're an agent for Wimbledon, we're an agent for other tennis tournaments, for the British Open Golf, for the British Grand Prix, and for the international rugby tournaments that happen in the UK, in Scotland, and in Wales, and in London. Royal Ascot is a horse race, another one that transcends the sport that it's a part of. It's called Royal Ascot because the King and the Queen and other members of the royal family come every day, and they travel down in front of the crowds in an open top carriage. People dress up, the ladies wear very big fancy hats, and the men dress up in, so you don't have to, but it's an option you can do. And there's lots of different levels that these can be done at, just ordinary tickets, which are about £45 each, €50 each, up to expensive, fantastic hospitality packages, depending on the number of people. And we're an agent for Royal Ascot. We work with them every year. We also have American sports, regular season games in the UK, doing NFL and baseball, which are great fun and sell out very quickly. We do a lot of conferences, of course. We do a lot of conference work. This is Excel, the major conference centre in London. We do people that are attending pharmaceutical events. We had a big pharmaceutical event last year at Excel, and we looked after 11 different groups for that event. The biggest was 400 and the smallest was 6. We go to the venue, collect conference packs for people in advance and deliver them to them. So, last year, to give you an idea, last year in total, we dealt with groups just last year from 30 different countries from around the world. So a lot from South America, South Korea, Iraq, first one, Dubai, USA, Canada, all over Europe. But so we're very experienced with dealing with every kind of group for every kind of industry or reason for coming to the UK. These are TV and movie locations. This is different to the house we saw before, but it looks a bit like it. But these are very popular things, connections. And it's particularly popular at the moment because a new Bridget Jones movie came out last week, and people feel a very strong connection with these kind of movies, and they really love to go and visit the locations. And what we do there is we do Notting Hill, Bridget Jones, and several James Bond. We give them a few pages of the script, and they have to go off and make the film themselves, film the scenes from the movies. And it's a good thing for Timmy because there are some people in front of the camera, some people are behind the camera, but everybody has a role to play in it. And then normally at the final dinner, we show those films that they've made to each other at the final dinner. But there are lots of opportunities like that. And in some cases, these movie locations are like movie stars in themselves, and people love to go and visit them and experience that. So we're responsive. We return very quickly. We're very creative. We're very tenacious. We never, ever give up. If we don't give you the right ideas first time, we keep on going until we get the right ideas for you. We're very reliable. We've been in business 21 years. Authenticity and passion are our bywords, and we try and be fun. we try and be fun to work with. This business should be fun as well as we're there to make it an enjoyable experience of working with us, working with TCE. That's what we try and do. So really, there are a huge number of possibilities. Any message for anybody can be put across, a bit like Martin there. If you have a tech company, we've got lots of very modern venues in London in particular that represent the tech areas. If it's a bank, they want something that's more solid and reliable. They want historic buildings, and we've got those everywhere as well. So whatever the story the client has, we can give them the platform to tell their story. That's what we do. We're storytellers, or we give the platform for our clients to tell their story. And that is us.
Thank you, William. Thank you for this very interesting presentation. As you said, very different to the other two that we made, but this is the beauty of Global DMC Alliance, which gives so many various and variety of our DMCs, yet everyone is singing from the same song sheet or hymn sheet. Everyone has this strong brand equity, and I feel that those 6 points that you mentioned encompass very much so the mindset of GDA, with tenacious, creative, so responsible, reputable, and responsive. So I think that these values encompass all our DMCs within the network. So anyone has any questions for William for the UK? So let me ask something. So you've got lovely destinations in the UK, England, Scotland. Is Wales in your radar, and Northern Ireland? Unless I must have missed something during the present.
Yeah, my heritage is Welsh, so I have to say yes to Wales, obviously. But it's not as, in all honesty, it's not as popular as Scotland. We do stuff there, and there are some great places there. It's better for smaller groups because there aren't the quality hotels that are on a larger scale. There's only one, the Celtic Manor, which is quite a conference and golf hotel, and that's as near to England as you can be and still be in Wales. But there's not as much choice in Wales, to be honest, Benji. But it is an up and coming destination. Some of it, Americans love to come there now because there's a football team called Wrexham, which some Ryan Reynolds, a movie star, bought, and they made a big TV series about it on Disney Channel. So it's suddenly this small town in North Wales has become really famous in America, and lots of people want to come over and go to the matches there and visit this town. So that's quite interesting.
It is, and sports is a massive industry in the UK. So how do you sort of feel like, what offerings are there in terms of sports activities, hospitality? I know you mentioned football, rugby. Can you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, the thing about sports is, as I say, there's two sides. One is that our bywords at the moment that are particularly strong are passion and authenticity, and that's exactly what sports events give you. I mean, there's nothing more passionate than a football match when somebody scores a goal or something, and it's completely authentic because this hasn't been put on for visitors or for tourists. It's there, something that happens anyway. So people are very keen on that. And as I say, this mix of social event and sports event is quite intoxicating, actually. Well, and it's something that, and it helps tell the story. And I mean, if you say, "Oh, we're going to London," and what are you going to London for? Well, we're going to Wimbledon, or we're going to Premier League, we're going to Manchester United. You have this instant picture in your head of what that is going to be about, and it's got strong bragging rights. So, but yeah, it's passion and authenticity. These are what people, I think, are looking for, because if you touch someone's passion, whether it's a vineyard, and you go there, or a carpenter, somebody doing something really skillfully they're really passionate about, it's intoxicating, and you want to be a part of that, and that's what we try and do. So, like, if you're having a dinner or something, and the guy that's made the beer that's serving you this is small microbrewery is telling you about how he's made and his passion in his life, or the guy that's made the sausages or whatever it is. It's very good. I was at a place, a Gordon Ramsay cookery school has just opened up in the city. I was there on Sunday cooking beef Wellington, a typical English dish. But this is 60 floors up, overlooking London, overlooking Tower Bridge and the Tower of London, while you're cooking this British food. And food, it's a passionate thing, isn't it? Once you've cooked together and eaten together, it's a very you've changed the nature of your relationship with somebody. So there's lots of these things are going on. But what we're trying to do is make you realise that you're in London or Scotland or Wales or wherever you are, that there's no point in doing stuff that you could have done somewhere else. Or, there's no point in, nobody wants to come to London to learn how to make pasta. If you want to know pasta, you go to Italy. You come to London, you want to learn to cook beef, fish and chips, whatever, I don't know. But you want something authentic. Although mostly we eat pasta now, of course. That's, everybody does. That's the world, isn't it?
Yes, and don't I know that too?
Well, and pizza.
So, everyone, thank you for this.